Parashat Vayakel 5782, or Etani's Bar Mitzvah Parsha. Yiratzon Limud should be lerefuat kol hacholim uvetucham Tanya bat Margalit, Yosef Yair ben Avivachava, Harav Sivan ben Sima betoch kol shar cholei Yisrael, and the costume, B'sat Hashem, the other costume, to just mechaber to all the parts of Am Yisrael. So we have Chabad, we have the thing, we have the regular shirt, the tchelet, B'sat Hashem, just to be mechaber all the pieces, because the secret of Purim is lech knos, the ability to connect all the pieces of Am Yisrael. And b'siyata dishmaya, we're going into Parashat Vayakel, which is the building of the Mishkan, together with Shkalim, Machzir Shekel. And there's a famous sentence from Morin Rabbeinu the Lubavitcher Rebbe, that every person needs to see themselves as a half. That you have to never ever see yourself as complete. You always need the assistance of other people. Your greatest ability is your responsibility. That you feel this responsibility that you need to connect yourself and associate yourself with more than just yourself, which is why tzedakah is called tzedek. That it's the right thing to connect yourself to other people. It's not charity. It's right. It's the right thing to do. So that's one thing. But I do think that when we speak about Parashat Vayakel connecting to the Mishkan, and we're also reading Machzir Shekel, they're very much linked to one another. We know that Shkalim is the Masechet that we start on Rosh Chodesh Adar, right? And that we started giving the Machzir Shekel on Rosh Chodesh Adar to prepare for Pesach, for the beginning of the new Jewish calendar. And everyone will give Machzir Shekel. And that parsha of Machzir Shekel is the ending of the commanding of the Mishkan. That we had Truma Tetzaveh. Then with the beginning of Kitisa, we speak about Machzir Shekel as the ending of the preparation of the building of the Mishkan. So what's the significance? And I think that we have to realize that sometimes we think wrong about the Machzir Shekel. We focus on the idea of half. And we say that you're incomplete. But maybe if we know a little bit about weddings, when a husband is mekadesh a woman, he could give her anything that's shve pruta. Masachet Kiddushin, Daf Amud Aleph, speaks about the amount, and it's a chatzi kisar pundion, very, very small amount, very minimal, pruta. So why not everyone give a pruta to Beit HaMikdash? Machzir Shekel is not a little bit of money. It's not a little. And if you want everyone to give something to realize that they're part of the bigger picture, then Ribono Shel Olam, then give a pruta. Why are you giving a Machzir Shekel? I think the Machzir Shekel is actually the opposite of what we think. Machzir Shekel is saying you're not a pruta. You are half of Am Yisrael's entire story. Yes, there's Hashem, and there's Knesset Yisrael. That's the other half. But you need to view yourself as much more than a pruta. You're half the story. You need to look at yourself not as a small, not as something that's minimal. That's how we try to translate the Machzir Shekel, that you're just half. No, you're all Machzir Shekel. You're so much more than a pruta. That we said in Kiddushin, you give a pruta, it's enough. So if you can mekadesh a woman for eternity, Bezrat Hashem, with the pruta, give a pruta. No. The only way that you could connect to Beit HaMikdash is if you view yourself as at least half the story of the Jewish people. And that's the story of the Mishkan. The story of the Mishkan is the reason we did the Egel. It's because we thought we were a pruta. We can't do it without Moshe. We're nothing. That's what brought the Egel. And the Tikkun for Chera Egel is Machzir Shekel. You're not a pruta. And the idea of the Mishkan was not to find Hashem, was to find ourselves. V'asuli Migdash, shachanti betocham. That you could feel that you are the Merkava of Shekhinah. That you're bringing in, just like Mordechai, that one person. It says Ish Yehudi, says the Midrash, switch the hay with a chet. Ish Yichidi. There was one guy. That's it. But he viewed himself as Machzir Shekel, as someone that's not asking what they can't, but what they can do. That's why there's so much mitzvot aseh for Purim. We'll get to Pesach. There's lo ta'aseh, chametz, all these lo ta'aseh, all these preventions. Purim. You want to redeem the Jewish people? There's only mitzvot aseh. Mishlach manot, matanot lev yonim, mikra megillah, and mishteh. You have to do and do and do and do. And we know that so often, when people are doubting themselves, they start looking at thoughts. The real tikkun for when people are feeling broken is that they start doing actions. They start giving. They start doing machzir hashekel. View yourself as the epicenter of the Jewish people. That if your machzir hashekel is missing, the story is done. And you're not a pruta. You're much more than a pruta. To really connect all of Am Yisrael to this theory and to this idea that we're so much more than a pruta, and that only that will bring us back to Beit HaMikdash when we view ourselves as the Merkava, the car, the Tesla of Ribono Shel Olam in this world.